In the bottom left-hand side, we are going to have ourselves the blue Zerg player. This is Reynor. A pleasure to have him in a WardiTV event. He does not play in a lot of these events, so shout out to him. He actually reached out saying he wanted to play. I think he might play in WardiTV Mondays on Monday as well. Cool to see him taking part. Cool to have him with us. Excited to see what he can do here in these quarterfinals. He takes on Reynor, who has been, honestly, I feel like so good and just missing out on so many kind of big events by the skin of his teeth. See what happens as we get into game one of this B05 best of 5 series. First 3 wins it. Reynor obviously powering up, looking to play a lot and get a lot of practice in ahead of eSports World Cup. He wants to be at his absolute very best by the time he gets around to there, so I imagine that's the intention from him, taking part in some of these events and playing and stuff, so he's trying to get practice in. It's not easy to find, you know, practice partners all the time, you know, consistently, so sometimes it is good to play in the tournaments, play against some different players, mix it up that little bit. Oftentimes goes a long way. Probe gathering about. We're going to see the hatch gas and spawning pool all coming up. The Nexus on the way out as well. Bring that up into play for the moment. So far, so good. Just going to be seeing the hatch gas and pool then coming about. The drone coming in. You got our Nexus and our Cybercore coming online as well. Bring that all through for the moment. What's up, Schmacker? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 15-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Obviously, so 1 ZvP already today. Max packs against Solar. Solar really kind of fizzled after that first game where he saw success on the Lurker Corrupt. And I think we're going to see a good bit of that from Reynor as well in this series. I think if he gets into some longer games, if we don't just see the games ending quick, then that generally will be his kind of composition of choice as well. See how that pans out. Bullings going after the probe. Damage being dealt. The Queen's still hitting the Adept, so the Adept getting turned back the other way once again. Just can push back over there. Power counts on the robot facility continue to build on through as we get settled. Pretty standard stuff, right? I think everyone is kind of ticking off kind of the opening here as being, okay, I'm going to play pretty regularly to open with. It's not Stargate, though, from Kratos, so this is, you know, obviously where we do get to see things be a little different with that Resonating Glaives. But, I mean, in terms of, like, ordinary, like, yes, Stargate is the most ordinary, but playing Twilight Robo and, like, 4-gate Glaives is not super unordinary, and actually, this kind of Glaives attack has come back into the meta a little bit. Kratos especially has enjoyed doing it, a couple of other guys have been enjoying doing it recently as well. So we've actually started to see these 4-gate Glaives kind of come back into the meta of PvZ, which is kind of cool. Because 4-gate Glaives was not a thing for a long time. A lot of Star Glaives, like Stargate into Glaives, was kind of much more popular if you were going to play Glaives. But yeah, Kratos does like to mix his openings up. He likes to play some different things in the early stages a lot of the time. And what's up, Jeff? How you doing as well? Coming in with the 54-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. Thank you so much for being awesome. Thank you so much. Well, for your Debs coming over, the first Roach is already on the way. Reynor feels very prepared for this. The Roaches, the Lings coming out already. The prep is absolutely looking spot on so far as the additional Adepts warp in. Doesn't feel scary at all from Kratos. We'll see how well Reynor can position the Roaches, obviously gathering them in the right places, moving them around effectively against the Adepts. Shading or not shading is always a question mark. Adepts will not shade here, but they're pushed back by Queens in the front, so no one will fight yet. And the more we don't fight, the better for Reynor. The more time he gets to set up units and to defend against this, and to have enough units in the right places to deal with this kind of Adept aggression trying to shade around everywhere, you know? That's shading through the natural straight away. Again, leg coming up. A drone, a couple of overlords continuing to build right now. He's going to go get a wrap around. The few Adepts going to come up again. Resonating Glaives is active, and we see the few Zerglings getting turned around because of it. Prism heads towards the main base and is going to go load a couple of units that, again, Reynor is just on top of. It's sounding boring, but really so far, this has just been good defense by Reynor. And, I mean, he lost 4 Zerglings against 4-gate Glaives. That really is a telltale sign that this has been a great start. Goes into the lair now, because it's 4-gate Glaives, no Stargate first. You don't get the lair super early. You have to delay that, so it's fine. That does not necessarily mean that Reynor's all in or anything. It just means that that's just how you deal with this. You need to cut the lair early, ensure you have the resources to build units defensively, because, again, 4-gate Glaives is pretty committed. Now, we do have Creator coming up to a 3rd base. Reynor is going to begin droning now and add a few more of those on as his Evo Chamber comes up. He gets the Roach Speed started as well. I guess the big question is, what do we get off the Evo Chamber? Are we going to play missiles and continue with the Roach kind of style, or are we going to maybe switch into melee and go, get some Ling Bane support up and running? I think that's really our next question of where this game is going to. We're playing 5 gases at the moment, so it takes a couple of extra ones. So actually going to go take all 6 gases, so Reynor will be ready to kind of, afford all the tech he possibly can, morph in a bunch of Ravagers. Like, this is just Ling Roach Ravager for the moment. He is on a 61 drone count, so again, could also absolutely just add on a couple more drones here and there, and he does do so. It goes up to the 68 now. Well, he's also getting another hatchery down, so I think Reynor is just accepting that this is, at least for the moment, starting to head into a little bit of a longer game, perhaps. This nation's still moving down and scouting around, trying to keep an eye on what's going on. So what's up, Gross Papa? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 34-month resub. Appreciate it. Thank you again for continuing to support. Thank you so much. Also on missiles, Roach be coming in, Infestation Pit and the Hydra Den coming up as well. Colossus and the extended thermal lance coming online, the +2 attack coming in, the extra gateways are in production, our cannon coming through. Prism sitting overhead, 1 and 2 Adepts both get lifted up. Extended thermal lance, +2 attack, continue to get going, just going to be seeing the Hydra production continuing, Hive in the look, then coming around. A couple of additional Stalkers will warp in. A Spore Crawl going to get a couple of hits off, Hallucination taking damage. Look, then we'll finish the Hive on the way through. It's going to be seeing a couple of the Adepts still threatening the Shade through over on this side, as the Lingers will continue to gather. Extend Thermal Lance, +2 attack. Colossus on the way, a few Stalkers building up, as you just get that warping continuing. Couple of corrosive files, units stepping back already. And the Stalkers step straight forward. I'm going to be seeing the Ling Roach Ravager thinking about trying to deal with this. Obviously, a bit of a larger army right now from Creator. First Vipers on the way. We do have our Lurkers out. Vipers especially would be great right now. Abduct like the Colossus into this would be amazing. So that Viper has a big role to play. The Lurker's here, but obviously not fully upgraded, so this is definitely a scary moment or two. Force field's obviously going to be kind of working against Creator, I feel like. Can't really kind of move through himself with that position set up. Lings are going to counterattack and go do some damage. Lings are going to get through. A few probes going down. It's going to be, again, just a couple corrosive vials coming into place. Reynor could, again, really do with some of this spell cast. And that Viper, get one of those Colossus in the front, dragged forward, and just take that out would be huge. Really remove some of the splash would do a lot for you at the moment. Reynor staying maxed out. A lot more Ling Hydra on the way back up. He does get rid of the 4th base. He puts his opponent into a very committed position where Creator now really has to just send this. Stalkers come back around the other side. Roach Viper stepping through, abduct on a Colossus. Second Colossus abducted, so the Viper gets both of the Colossus killed. That is big. Do we have any lurkers left over? A couple of more for him. We're going to pull back toward them. Again, Creator needs to win the game with this shove, it feels like, because he lost his fourth base. He's got no setup for the future coming through. He's just focusing on this fight, and I think Reynor has found the defense necessary to make a hold happen here. And Reynor will send Creator away in those early stages just like that. Hydras and Lurkers come back to the right side. The Adepts are going to try and shade on through. Things still coming up. Hydras and the Queen's building as well. Got a few more Adepts warping in, and we have ourselves a chance to jump onto this third base, perhaps. Opportunity to make something happen there as the Adepts continue over. In they go. The Lurker's going to get burrowed up. The Adepts going to get jumped on a little bit, as we do still have the Blind Cloud coming down. The Stalker Adept getting pushed away. Will fight a few Lings, still getting jumped on here. The Stalker's going to try and fight back as well. Couple corrosive vials coming straight on in, and those Stalkers still taking a beating. Again, Creator does not have enough to keep this going, as we've kind of talked about at this point already a couple of times. GG's. Reynor taking that opening map. Live. Reynor with that 1-0 lead right now. Again, good defense in the end. But a little scary. I think it was just, he was getting attacked as he was hitting the Lurkers. As he was getting a Viper. So as long as he survived the first wave, it was always going to start getting easier. Especially as, the moment those two Colossus went down, that Viper getting both of those abducted really felt like a huge moment that helped just deflate the power of that Protoss army that we'd been seeing. So definitely a big positive there. As in the top left-hand side, we will have ourselves the blue Protoss player Creator taking on the red Zerg in the bottom left-hand side. Sorry, bottom right-hand side, we have Reynor from Basilisk, of course. After this, Spirit will play Geralt. Also in the quarterfinals. Then our semifinals will come through. And then our finals. Similar in the gateway building up here. A few drones in the hatchery coming through. Custom pool all settling down, just going to be seeing the gateway and the probe continue to build up as well. Few probes just doing their thing, flying away. Cozy start. Let's see if Creator heads in towards the Stargate this game. Like, Resonant Glaives opening just really didn't do much at all, right? When you lose 4 Lings to 4-gate Glaives, the Protoss should pretty much always be in trouble. And I think Creator made the best situation of it, kind of committing to a pretty heavy attack, not really setting up, for a lot of kind of future plans. I'm trying to catch Reynor as he was setting up into the later stages, but kind of makes you wonder, do you as Creator want to do something like that again, or are you just going to fall back into, Stargate-based openings this time around? And from here on out, well, in this game the answer is yes. It's just going to be so tough to justify not building the Stargate after that first map. Flying speed is coming up then from Reynor. Obviously, he'll use that for some map control while his opponent will get to the Oracle in the early stages. Queen just going to fight. Adept will take some shots. Let's just see the Oracle and the Warp Gate continue to come through. I'm going to fight. Adept taking some damage. Link speed building up, about to finish in a couple of moments. The drones will continue about. The Queen is coming over. Adept gathers us back up onto the watchtower. Oracle about to finish. Warp Gate coming through. We'll just have ourselves the Nexus coming up on that right hand side. Again, that third base started already. And pushing that Oracle around. Just going to see the Lings and the drones gathering up. Assimilators coming by. We do have the Evolution Chamber on the way up as well. Bring that straight through. The couple of Queens will continue to ping at the Adepts. More facility starting as we get the next step of this game on the way from Creator already. I mean, this time, obviously, Reynor will land the Rotron starts up. Didn't need the Rotron super early because there's no super fast Adept coming his way. He's going to get the +1 missiles started as we start to see what his kind of plan looks like. That's not really revealed too much yet, being the reactionary player in a big way in Game 1. So typically is very reactionary, but there's a couple times they can pull off some attacks and kind of get things going themselves. Is going to go onto those Adepts. The Adepts will actually survive through the Lings, and the other Queens having to deal with the Oracles. The Adepts able to shade out. They don't stick around, probably just aware that more Lings popping out probably would have been the end of them. They were starting to get low HP. We got some kills at least, if nothing else. Count's about to finish. Prism coming up. For that charge, got that +1. The Temple Archives coming through as well. The Infestation Bit and Hydralisk Den coming from Reynor. So both players are really starting to step up into additional attack and really looking toward the future already in this game. Not really too surprising or anything, but yeah, that is exactly the direction we moved in for the moment then. Missiles drop off to drones. Gonna have to be careful here, but the Ling's gonna be fairly quick to respond. At least Creator is keeping a tab on Reynor and keeping him at least a little bit mentally busy, keeping him checking in back at home. Take some of Reynor's attention from being able to be fully focused on the map and maybe creating run-bys and opportunities for himself, right? So good for Creator to poke in, look for chances. Obviously, you're not going to find your chance every single time, but if you keep that kind of persistence up, at some point you probably will find a very successful moment to pull the trigger and to commit to getting some damage done. Storm will be done soon. We have the Hive and the Lurk then on the way again from Reynor. No surprise to see him continue to play into what has been, again, one of the most sturdy kind of compositions as of late, which is the Lurkers and Corruptors. Obviously, you go Lurkers at first if you're born Buildarians, then you get the Corruptors up, and that combination really can carry you until really the super late stages of the game. Maybe at that point you start thinking about some Spellcasters, maybe some Broodlord switches, but in general, at its core, the idea is very solid, as will Contaminate tries to slow things down. Not sure if much will happen. Crew spans coming up, +2 missiles, adrenal glands, and the seismic spines coming in as well. So we continue to get that building with the extra creep tumors spreading out. A couple of spines will continue to build up. Hydra lurker gathers up together. Reynor just gonna see the chance to get those lurkers up much more comfortably this game. Like, there's nothing coming his way right now from the opposition, so compared to the last time he had to play defense, just try and scramble into the lurkers, this time his lurkers are going to get up comfortably, and it's likely going to be Reynor, the player who can start taking some steps onto the map and some chances to kind of take positions and actually force fights with the lurkers available. So let's see how we can do. A lot of lings from Reynor. Again, has a lot of potential with his speed to set up counters, set up run-bys as well. Especially, it's interesting to see if any of that comes about as the lings get a good wrap around here. Those ults go down. Ling Lurker Hydra still gathering together. Just getting joined up. We have a couple of shots coming through, extra structures coming down. The mothership will start to build as well. 2 more mortals coming up. 2 Niduses on the way from Reynor. We get those going. Obviously, later in this game, you want to start getting to that point where you can drop Niduses around the map. And Corporeal gets very interesting in this late stage as well, because you start kind of drilling over the middle of the map. A lot of these bases are very central, and so beyond the 5 bases that Creator has right now, you're going to have to step really toward the middle to make stuff happen. And that's where a lot of skirmishes are just going to be forced and found. Beautiful splits against the Storms, by the way. Those Lings split perfectly to where the Storm was about to be. And that's a great catch on a portion of the army. And suddenly you're on top of the 5th base. Reynor getting aggressive, and immediately as he gets aggressive, finds a huge opportunity, a huge position for himself. Put himself in a great place and just replaced him with Lings, because all he needs is to flood through with Lings right now. His Nexus on the left side goes down, so never mind bases in the middle of the map. Even bases on your side of the map are a difficulty right now for Creator, as that one gets denied, like I say, with ease. I mean, the surround itself was already going to be good, but still the Ling split to kind of dodge where he thought the Storm was going to be, and then the Storm went exactly there. It was pretty wild. The mothership found that Nidus in the back of this natural, so no successful Nidus, but now we're going to dive to the upper right, and the lurkers are going to get between the 4th base and the army. And does that just mean we're going to lose the 4th? Most likely it does. And we're losing the army trying to kind of run into these lurkers to deal with this as well. 4th base hasn't gone down yet. The few units on that position have held off pretty decently. Lurkers gathering. And we've seen the +3 attack tempest coming through, but this was a terrible few moments for Creator. He does at least survive in the top right, but still overall not great. A lot of trades going Reynor's way. Reynor, who has 88 workers and is pretty rich to rebuild. He's just running up over there, putting some work in. So we do get rid of that base in the end. Reynor just continue to ping back over and continue to force Creator to be out of position. Boyd's going to take some shots. Hydra's going to be there. It's going to get burrowed up, and we are going to see the Nexus immediately going to be under some heavy fire. Barzell's going to start charging forwards. 24 pros going down. I mean, obviously, Courage is going to invite himself to this base trade. I mean, I think Reynor is going to be kind of just okay fighting against this, though, so I don't think that's really going to be too much of a problem. I mean, when you know your opponent's going to be super committed against you, it just becomes that much easier to kind of find that defense, right? And so we are going to be seeing Reynor definitely keeping good supply up. I mean, Courage's supply is still holding on, though, and he does wipe out a bunch of units here initially. So maybe Reynor will have a couple of struggles in the end. Maybe this will not be free. $35 drones going down. Reynor still getting a lot more Hydras and a few more Lurkers out as well. Obviously, Predator is completely all in. He's lost everything on the other side, so he has to win with what he's got right now. A few Lings that are left over there are just going to guarantee that, but yeah, this is really just dealing with, you know, going with whatever you have. A couple of Storms coming down again. The Hydras and Lurkers getting hit. Reynor just needs to get the cleanup, and I think we're getting closer and closer to it as we are running out of stuff here on the side of Predator. Reynor is going to win this base trade situation. GG's. On the bottom left-hand side, it is going to be up 2-0. Our red Zerg player, it is going to be Reynor. In the top right, our blue Protoss is going to be Creator. What's up, Nanny EL? Thank you so much for the 1-year resub on the Prime. Bet to Wardy each month. We almost do. Thank you so much for the generosity. Thank you so much. Game 3. Pretty hectic stuff. Pretty fun stuff in that last game. I mean, Creator keeps getting into these scenarios where I feel like he has this one last-ditch effort, and it's like, it feels like there's so much potential, it's just not quite good enough. But maybe in this game 3 you can get a little bit more control. Reynor looking comfortable so far. Queen's going about, Cybercore coming up. Next is on the way. Stargate building, next on the way, Links will be coming over. I see the feeling's going to chase that probe back. Reynor ready to take his third base of the game already. No surprises there from the Zerg side of things. Thank you very much, Nefarious Beard. Sorry, Nefarious Bread. I read that as Beard initially. Oh, the Prime sub as well. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for coming about. The drone's coming over, Queen coming in. Just gonna get ourselves the hatch about halfway done for the moment as well. Wardrate and the Warp Gate will build. A couple of Adepts gonna go shading about. Sling's just cruising across. Actually going to get a catch on the Adepts, which is a big deal. Get rid of those, remove some of the potential harass. He did not surround, so the Adepts will get away. Escape is made. We're going to activate Overlord, goes down. Next is building. Again, Oracle just popping through. Just going to be seeing the Queen's going to step forward and going to go after that Void Ray. So a couple of shots coming about right away there. And the Overlords and the Lings continuing to build as our simulates come up in the early stages. Facility Forge, Gateway, Probes continue to come up. I'm just going to see the land, the drones, Rotron coming by. Just going to be seeing the Overlord coming in as well. Continue to get that settling as a couple of additional extractors coming up. Queen's going to be there. The Oracles get pushed back. And Twilight Council going to be building the gates, Immortal, +1. A little bit of everything coming through. The Evolution Chamber still building on in. The Hatchery coming online. And now Void Ray is going to come around that left-hand side. Does first place in WardiTV June get a slot at EWC? Yeah. I wish. Actually, I kind of don't wish. It would just be a mess. I'd have to do like tiebreakers probably for all the people that are already qualified or something. No. Anyway, we have our own WardiTV qualifying system coming up with the European League starting soon, so we look forward to that. That's a hell of a catch, by the way. That's multiple sentries going down these Lings, despite the force fields doing very well for themselves, and able to get some unit pickoffs right away there is charge +1, Robobase. We are looking to the future still here from Creator as he steps onto the map a little bit. That was not a great way to start at all. Prism is about to finish, charging +1 building. Robo Facility and Bay coming online. We get some extra gates coming up as well. This Queen still stepping into the middle of the map right now as the Void Ray. Gonna try and fight. The Queens push that Void Ray out of there. Here we go with the Ravagers, Lings and Queens, Overlords as well, coming straight across. Gonna see a couple Crows of Baals gonna engage through. Crows of Baals do land in toward the force fields, clearing those up as Reynor getting aggressive right now, looking to finish this series off with the aggressive Green Ravager Ling attack. What is Creator's defense looking like? Doesn't have charge just yet. We'll do in a few moments though, that will help. So will the +1 upgrade. Currently supply block though, so you can't add anything else in, losing pylons, and the battery's already being drained heavily of their energy. Ravager Baals putting some serious work in throughout this as the Adepts in the front line's going down. Now the Lings come from the other side. They ran off the screen a few moments ago, and this is where they were getting to. With full surrounds, the Immortal Baals become that much more powerful, although the Prism is there to lift off. The Lings still fighting, the few probes coming through. We do lose an Oracle. Ravager Baals again. Prism is going to go down. That takes away a lot of your micro potential, but hey, we've got ourselves a Disruptor. Maybe that can possibly somehow make this work out. Another Disruptor shot coming through. Ravager's pulling back. The Immortal's getting jumped on once again. We have ourselves a solid Stalker continuing to fall as the pylon goes down. Batteries get depowered. Another disruptor shot fires straight in there. The Ravager gets clipped. The Queens continue through. And we just have ourselves comfortable close, I think, of this game for Reynor, who is just chasing down these last few units. And unfortunately for Creator, cannot put up a fight, cannot take a map throughout this match. And that is just going to be about that. So, there's a few Zealots charge through. A couple Queens in some trouble. Disruptor shot going to land on some of those Queens as well. We'll just have Reynor chasing all the way forwards. And I mean, he's kind of getting pushed back a little bit, but we lost so much of the tech that surely we don't truly survive here. Again, especially without the Prism, you can't keep the Immortals alive where you usually keep them alive. But you have 2 Colossus on the way. Yo, is there a... Am I being crazy by talking about a possible defense? Another Disruptor shot coming through. The Roach Ravager steps up one more time. Disruptor goes down. The Archons. I mean, the Nexus is going to go down too. Don't get me wrong, the Colossus is a nice addition. I'm just not sure if it'll do enough. It's also very exposed here as the Immortals get jumped on. And we're going to pull the probes to try and help. I mean, credit to Creator, he's going to give it his absolute best shot, but it's just not going to be good enough. GG's, Reynor takes it and is going to end up with a 3-0 through to the semifinals here, as he looks convincing as ever.